Thank you so much. March 8th. Welcome to Deliberate Discussions. I am your co host, Vicki Horton.
And I'm your co-host, Adric Parker.
Okay, tonight, what are we talking about? Or let's get into some advertisement right now.
Yeah, so let's get that done. We can start with that. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you have an event, if you have a new product that's out, or if you just want to promote your business, you can do that right here on Deliberate Discussions. Each and every Wednesday night, we will promote your business no matter how many times you want it promoted in just that one night. We'll be more than happy to promote your business right here on our live stream. Please contact Vicki Horton at 561-325-1488 for pricing information, or you can send us an email to deliberatenediscussions@gmail.com.
Thank you. Here's another one for you.
Okay, let's see if I can see this one. Generational Wealth Builders South, Richard and Lamicia Hughes. Thadric, we had them on the show last season, I believe it was.
We
And
did.
they were such a value to our viewers. And a lot of we hope to have them back again. But if you would like information in regards to life insurance, annuities, health insurance, investments, that's what Generational Wealth Builders does. Generational Wealth Builders South, Lamisha and Richard Hughes.
Their office number is 321-316-3932. Again, it's 321-316-3932. And I actually spoke with them recently, and they are ready to come back on to Deliberate Discussions. They think
Yay!
they thank us all the time for the last show, and how helpful it was for the community as
Yeah.
well. So, we're looking forward to actually having them back on the show. So the next thing that we have is
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have these ladies coming to our show next week. The West Palm Beach Coyotes women's tackle football team is going to be in the house. But right now, we are asking for sponsorship for these ladies. We want to go ahead and get this started before they come on. My daughter, Jaleesa Haynes, is a player on the team, number 21. So when you see that one, you definitely see me. And we're not pulling any flags over here. This is all full body tackle football. And we know when you think of tackle football, you automatically think of junior league or college football, high school football. But this is women's tackle football. The West Palm Beach women's Coyote team did not come to play at all. They did not come to pull flags. They are serious about this game. And we want to get them some sponsorship.
when I saw when I saw the picture, I was like,
That's my baby.
I was like, come on, this is what I'm talking about. We didn't look like that, when I was playing with the Rocks, boy. But she looked like she could go on and be on the Rocks team,
Listen,
so
these ladies are so serious about this game, Patrick, and I really want to support them. I support my daughter in everything that she does. I support all my kids.
mhm.
Right now, she's looking for a personal sponsorship. Even if you don't or you can't afford to sponsor her, we're also accepting donations. You can send a donation to her Cash App, which is hashtag JHAYNESS. And let me tell you this: for everybody who sends $5 through Cash App, for every $5 from every person, I am going to enter you two tickets into our Deliberate Discussions drawing, which is coming up on the season finale. And you get two free tickets into our drawing for some gifts that we're going to be giving away. And listen, if you've been on Deliberate Discussions before, you know we don't do no cheap gifts.
Correct.
So that's hashtag JHAYNESS. Please sponsor my daughter. I'm asking you, all my viewers, just $5, $10. And for every $5 you spend, you're going to get two tickets into our drawing next week.
Perfect. So, friend, let's get into tonight's topics.
Yes.
I'm really excited to have a part two to last week's conversation. Very excited to welcome back Tennille DaCosta. Reggie and Chuck is joining us tonight as well. So, Tennille's story last week was extremely impactful. I mean, we had so many viewers from all over that was really
Yes.
excited. I mean, a lot of people wishing that they lived in Delray so they can actually vote for Tennille, and she's running for the seat in the local district there in Delray. But I got so much feedback, so many calls, so many text messages about last week's show. So I'm happy to actually have Tennille back on the show. So before we actually bring Tennille up and Reggie and Chuck, I'm actually going to play Tennille's campaign video to the audience so they are aware. Just give me one moment. I'm going to open that up. And let's share that.
I'm Tennille DeCoste, and I'm running to be your next city commissioner for the beautiful city of Delray Beach, Seat 1. My career as an HR professional allowed me to serve numerous cities, including the city of Delray Beach, where I saved millions of dollars. I will use this experience to make firm decisions to advance our city and maintain the quality of life for our residents. Vote for me, Tennille DeCoste, your next City of Delray Beach Commissioner, Seat 1, and return your mail-in ballot today.
I love that video.
I do. I really do.
Hi,
Ladies
I'm
and
Nicole
gentlemen.
Hockley from Sandy Hook Prom.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of Deliberate Discussions, our interview with Tennille DeCoste, former HR representative for Boynton Beach, the city of Boynton Beach, and Delray Beach Commission candidate, Seat 1, Miss Tennille DeCoste. How are you?
Hello, thank you for having me back. I'm so excited. Great to always see
Thank you
Chuck
for
and
joining
Reggie.
us again.
Welcome back to Chuck and Reggie too.
Yes.
Yes, Chuck really in the house, the son of Ridley Temple. And of course, we got Mr. Delray himself, Mr. Reginald Cox.
Reggie, when
You
you
like that?
gonna throw that Reggie?
Oh my goodness.
Chuck, come on now. Come on now. That was good. You like the son of Ridley Temple, right?
That was a good introduction tonight, Vicky. You did really good at introducing Chuck.
Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Good evening.
I can't pay Reggie too much attention tonight. I got to pay Chuck attention.
Thank you, man. I'm not jealous.
So,
Yes, he is. You tell me about it when you get off, Vicky.
You need some attention. You need some attention.
That's right.
listen, welcome back, everyone. Tennille, we're so happy to have you back for part 2 of our discussion of Deliberate Discussions. I know that you have an update of your story from last week, so let's jump right into it. And let's update the viewers as well as the voters back in Delray Beach on the story that we discussed last week.
So a lot of things has happened. Let me first thank the residents, Boynton and Delray Beach residents, who's been supporting me, the text messages, the messenger on Facebook, everywhere. I thank you for your support. It means so much to me. It's great to pick up the phone and say, you got this. God's going to lead you. Don't worry about it. Keep your head up. It's great to, get that positive feedback because I'm human. I have my good days and I have my bad days. But let me give you an update. So it's so funny. City manager gave me a call and advised me, well, Tennille, come back to the table. I respect you. I'm sorry this happened. Of course, he blamed the city attorney for terminating me. And I had to remind him he is the city manager. Only the city manager can hire and fire. And then I confronted him and I said, why did you lie and say you did not give me permission to use my P card or attend events when I'm using my own time? He's like, no, I told them I did give you permission, which in the investigation report, it shows he didn't give me permission. But we all knew it was going to end up that way because, again, the person who conducted the investigation was a friend of the city attorney. So we knew the outcome. I'll remind you, when we sat down, my attorney and I, and the investigator said, do you expect me to believe a white man that's married to a Black woman with 4 biracial children said that you're hiring too many Black women? My attorney and I looked at each other. He wrote it down and we were about to walk out the door. And she said, okay, I'll rephrase the question. We knew right then, we know where this is going. This is a waste of our time. Why are we even here? And that proves my case that when I sent those emails back in December to the mayor, that it was predetermined, tainted, biased, not a fair investigation. And that's why OIG is involved in ethics, which I'm very happy about that. Another thing that came up, I spoke at their commission meeting last night, And during that, I sent a 2-page email to all the commissioners, and I spoke on the investigation, because one thing I stand on is my reputation and my ethics. I have 2 decades. I built 2 decades of HR director, just government experience with not a scratch on my record. For them to purposely try to tear down my reputation, my good name, and my ethics is an issue for me. It's to the point now, I received a call yesterday morning before I spoke at commission that my investigation was sent to the tax collector's office. They didn't ask for it. There was no public records request. The city sent it to them, somebody in the city. Not only did they send it to the tax collector's office, they sent it to 2 other cities, and the city managers received it. I so happen to know those city managers. I mean, I've been in Palm Beach, I've been in Broward. A lot of people know me because my community that I serve, and because I sit on numerous political boards, they know of me. So to hear that the tax collector's office is receiving my investigation for no reason, I was floored. So we discussed that as well. I discussed that as well at the commission meeting. And I said to them, this is on purpose. This is personal. I said that the city manager, city manager, remember when we met during when I was on admin leave, and you said that the city attorney advised him that she is not going to stop until I'm gone. He just sat there and looked dumb as I don't know what. He couldn't say anything because I put it out there. And then I also reminded him, I said, remember, we just spoke a couple nights ago, and you said the city attorney fired me, not you. And I told each commissioner, I said, you know, you're supposed to represent the residents that you serve. And he is a liability. He's a liar. And so is your city attorney. It's time to make changes. And I sat down. When I tell you the amount of support other speakers, some of them I knew, some of them I didn't know, who spoke on my behalf, basically put the commission and the city manager in check, like Ray Whiteley and Pastor Dame's brother and so many others. And I was like, wow. And when I tell you, if you watch that commission meeting, they put them in check. Like, we're tired of it. Enough is enough. And let me first say, it's unfortunate because some of my claims are that I'm hiring too many Black women. That's one of my claims. I was told that. And the city manager and deputy city manager are denying it, of course, but it's a lie. And one thing that I have to recognize, and it's unfortunate, of the 4 Black women that were terminated because they were connected to me or because I hired them. And I don't want to say their names because they're looking for jobs and I don't have their permission, but the 4 Black women that were unfairly terminated just because they're connected to me or because I hired them. It's unfair. You just proved my point and my allegations that I'm hiring too many Black women, and then you fire all the 4 Black women that I brought in or hired.
Hey, Tennille, I want to ask you a question. And when you started the conversation, you said that the gentleman said, come back to the table.
Mm-hmm.
What did that mean?
Let's discuss it. Let's discuss everything that happened.
So basically, let's talk about it. Try to renegotiate.
We're not negotiating anything. You're tearing. It's a political move. I do believe that because one of my opponents is definitely working with my city manager. It's so clear. It's so clear. But you're not just affecting me. You affected the lives of 4 other women. And, you know, it's hard enough already to climb that ladder and stay up there and not to get kicked down. And then to have good benefits and, you know, run a household and do everything else we do as women and compete against men for the same job and not get paid equally. But now 4 women, Black women, great hardworking women, and myself have lost their job because of personal vendettas, because I was supposed to turn my head, not whistleblow, and ignore the fact that they were doing unethical things. I think the best part, I received a message on Facebook. Don't know who this person is. He said, you don't know me, but I would like to speak to your attorney. I have some information that will help your case. And I said, oh, well, that's weird. He put his phone number in there and he asked me to call him. I called him. He confirmed the derogatory names that deputy city manager called me, from a nigger to that black bitch, will lose her job when I'm finished with her. And this person said it to this person. And guess what? He's speaking to OIG ethics and he's speaking to my attorney. And I don't know this guy, but he does business with the city of Boynton Beach. And he heard everything. He's like, this isn't right. He said, now I know who you are. When they said, he said, I just put this black bitch on administrative leave and I'm going to get rid of this nigger.
Wow.
Now, this is the same person that's married to a black woman.
Wow.
That the investigator said, do you expect me to believe that? When this man told me that, I was floored. I said, you know what? Here's my attorney's number. I emailed OIG and ethics and I CC'd him on it. And now OIG is looking into it.
Wow.
And it's more than that.
So from what I understand, and I talked to a few people in Boynton Beach that went to the city commission meeting, and basically people who work for the city of Boynton Beach. And I hear that the city manager, Dan Duggar, is basically kind of nervous, which is one of the reasons I heard that he reached out to you. So when he gives a speech, he says he was compelled to send it to OIG. I mean, how do you feel about that? Now he wants to send it to OIG. Why didn't you do that in the beginning? That's what I want to know. What did he have to say about that?
So he wasn't compelled to say what it was. I kept pushing and pushing and pushing for an investigation for the black comment. And then when I finally went to the city attorney and the city attorney ran to him and didn't even look into my investigations, my complaints, and didn't hire a third party to investigate my complaints. She just brushed it under the rug and said, let's move past this black comment. Let's move past all the drunk employee. Let's move past the stealing of time. She went and told Dan everything. And then I was like, no, I want an investigation. Now all of a sudden, he sends my stuff to OIG. And then I was like, okay, no problem.
So
no
it sounds
problem.
like Dan Duggar and Shauna Lamb are in cahoots with each other because you blew the whistle on what was going on.
Yes. And there's more. And there's more.
There's
a lot of corruption. Putting money in a certain commissioner's pockets for a vote. When I tell you this man told me everything, he told me everything from A to Z, and now ethics and OIG is looking at it. So, they can laugh at me. And I said this last night, you're trying, this is personal. You're trying to hurt my reputation that I built. And this is a political move. But now you're going to have to look at yourself because now you're going to be looked at.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you are standing up to them. I'm so glad that you're speaking up, and you, like I told you last week, you won't be silenced. I've already received word that the video that you appearing on this show last week has already been viewed by them in Boynton Beach, which I'm glad they can keep watching. Okay,
y'all
hear that, Boynton Beach? Y'all on deliberate discussions again tonight.
Hey, watching because we are going to stay on y'all necks and Boynton, in this story. Chuck, you wasn't here with us last week, and so I'm very interested in your view on this story. Vicky, Reggie, we all had had opinions on it last week, and I'm just really interested in your opinion on this. What do you think about this?
So, let me just start with I am the political coordinator for a union that has to work in the city and in Delray. So because of that professional piece, and I just have a gnawing suspicion that they would try and tie this anything that I would say on this issue as a conflict of interest because of her old role. And so I won't have a comment. But the fact that I'm sitting here tells you everything you need to know.
I respect that. Thank you, Chuck. I really, that says a lot. Reggie, we ended the show last week, and I know that you had a lot more to say. So I do want to give you an opportunity to continue your dialogue from last week.
Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
As I sit here and continue to listen to how this playing out, I'm not surprised. we got to understand that these scenarios, this all leads back to voter suppression tactics. Okay, we just have to uplift we're getting a lot of detail, and I applaud Mr. Costi for giving that detail, and that's really for those who may not realize the extent and the depth, okay, that the system will go through, okay, to stop what? And I said it last week, and I'm going to keep repeating it because, that's how we become conscious of these things. Anytime we have people in position, okay, in particular of color, who lead with collective impact of the group, okay, you're going to run into obstacles and barriers, okay? And so we have to understand that going in, because we can't have it both ways. Each election cycle, we learn more and more, okay? At the end of the day, we want candidates and representatives to be able to help us advance, right? Help move our agenda, okay? As a people, as a neighborhood, as a community. There are competing interests against our point of view. That's just the way it is, right? There are competing interests against, we want equitable development. We want development that we can be a part of, that won't significantly displace us from our community. Well, there are other interests who don't want that. And when you have individuals who are going to sign on to our agenda, well, put it this way, I'll say it a better way. When you have individuals who refuse to ignore our agenda, okay? Not that they're not looking at the city for a whole, because they love to label us, we're just dealing with this one area. That's the narrative. But when you have individuals who are strong and willing to not ignore us, okay, and looking for collective impact, you're going to have these type of problems. Okay, Mr. Costi, she is a threat, okay, to the establishment, which is a viable candidate. So this is what my point is. We should expect this each and every time. Okay, they did it to the CRA. All these people just kind of. It sounds just like Delray, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you listen,
It sounds exactly like Delray.
It sounds just like Delray, right? And the reality is, it's really not different, right?
Right.
For what's really at stake. They don't want to be displaced in Boynton either, or West Palm Beach, okay, or any other Riviera Beach, any of our concentration of communities of color. They don't want to be displaced. Where else are you going to live?
Correct.
So when we have advocates that won't sell out, not that they won't look out for the city as a whole, but they won't ignore their own, okay, this is what we'll run into. And that is why it is important that we continue to vote, even though I know it's just tough for a lot of our people to understand and see, particularly the younger generation, the benefit of it. They get disenfranchised when they hear stuff like this. They get disenfranchised when the ball doesn't move. We don't get the yardage that we think we should get. But it's the best way we still have right now. It is the best way we have right now to still make a difference for our communities. And it is a fight. It's not supposed to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised. And the solution is, and I'll wrap it up with this, that the solution still, just like in the boxing matches, when they go 15 rounds, they still standing. And still, okay, we must vote.
Correct. So before we move on from this conversation, Tennille, is there any last words you have?
Yeah, I just believe, if there's anybody that's been through this or going through it, don't be silenced. I'm not going to be silenced. I believe I'm a strong woman, and I did the right thing for blowing the whistle. I will say this is nothing new. Look what happened to my amazing president for NCBW, Latasha Clemens. They painted her face white on a building. Are you serious?
Mhm.
The disrespect to that woman who gave years of service as a firefighter and then a deputy chief,
It's nasty.
and then you do that to
Nasty.
her. What kind of respect is that? It's ongoing. Enough is enough. We're tired of it. And I don't care if it's black, brown, white, green, purple. It's wrong.
It is.
Period. On
Absolutely.
all levels.
Absolutely.
It's so. I was telling Thadric last Thursday, after the show, the day after the show last week, I actually had an incident on my job. I'm not going to speak on it on here because this is for you tonight. But I explained the situation to him, and I'm like, what should I do?
Mhm.
But you just gave me my answer that I was looking for. I can't keep silent. I have to, speak up when things like this happen, especially to Black women, women of color, no matter what color you are. I mean, because we're going in with 2 strikes against us already. We're
Correct.
smart, educated Black women. That's it right there. The 2 strikes, Black women. Those 2 words, Black women.
Correct. So as we get closer and closer to election day, and it's obvious to me that this whole situation is boiling down to a political hit job, but as far as our community is concerned and the voters that, it's so often that us as Black people, we tend to jump on the bandwagon and believe everything we hear versus knowing the facts.
Yeah.
Reggie, how do we reach our community? How do we just meet them on their level and speak to them, to let them know, look, this is what's really happening. This is what's best. What can we do? Because it's just like, I just hate for our people to be caught up and believe all these different things that's being put out there about this candidate, which are false.
Well, I think that the challenge is that, the sacrifices, those who do the work and try to get the word out, is a labor of love. And we have to. This is one example, and we can't understate it enough.
Mm-hmm.
This social media forum where you all just had it was in you, the spirit was in you to have discussions like this. So what can we do? We can continue to engage in forums like this. Those who have time, who have skill sets, any lending hand they can give to the movement, to the plight, that helps. During the election cycle specifically, volunteering with the campaigns, knocking on doors, phone bank,
Okay.
Phone banking is good. Sign waving, that's called get out the vote. And if you can't do anything but donate to the campaigns or donate to organizations who do meet and get the word out, anything that you serve from where you are. And it's not easy. Like I say, it's a labor of love. So you do what you can. You do what you can. There's a the website with the Set Neighborhood Alliance. That website has been up for years. The 28 local neighborhood associations, and the Set Transformation Plan is out there. We put it out there for people to get information so they can really learn the bigger picture about planning and zoning and how decisions are made. We were doing so well with and Vicky knows this because Vicky was in some of those conversations in the room with some of those individuals after they did what they did. We were doing so well. And this is another thing. They say join boards, right? To participate. Y'all got to do something. Get on the board and participate and learn this and learn that. And when you do it, if you do it too good, if you get on the board and actually participate and ask questions, and then you want to make change, right? And then you got a bullseye on your back.
Mm-hmm.
Because we did it so well with the independent CRA board. And, you know, you got all these hypocrites around here that looks like us. You had 4 Black individuals, okay, business owners, educated folk on the independent CRA board. And they took it anyway, okay? And that was just a political, like you said, a political hit that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to deal with all the political hits, right? You have to deal with all the coming into realization that I can't believe this stuff is happening in 2023, 2000. Yeah, it's happening. Same thing happened in 1850, 1750, 16. It's happening. Look at the fool we got in the governor's mansion. And what just happened at the University of Florida,
that was
firing the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion staff. And he's telling them they did a great job setting the precedence. So that's voter suppression right there. That's saying that I'm going to abuse power and there's nothing you can do about it. So we have to, those who are willing, okay, serve from where you are. If you want to, you know, join your neighborhood associations, you know, join your nonprofits, okay, join your city boards. You know the people in your neighborhood. Our people know the go-to people who, if they want to find something out, they know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
correct.
With social media these days, with the long pedigree we have and the long history of institutional knowledge of people in our neighborhood. If you want to know, we know where to go, or somebody can tell them where to go. Have those one-on-one conversations and find out for yourselves. It's somebody that you trust. And it's somebody that you know who knows somebody else. If you don't have time to go to meetings and there's a trust factor, you see all this, a lot of advertising going to come to your house. These mailers are all is pointing back and forth, you know, they shooting at each other back and forth. Throw all that away. All that's garbage. That's something that they got to do. Like you got a house, you got to have windows, right? You got to have a door. So that just comes with the territory. All those mailers, throw all that stuff away. Find somebody who you trust that knows what's going on and get information from a few different sources that you trust, and then you put it together. That's, to me, you're going to be your best way.
Perfect.
That's the best way. Find someone who you trust, or you know, or somebody else who trusts another person who knows about these things, just like anything else. When you're looking for a doctor, okay, a surgeon or heart surgeon, whatnot, you're not going to go get a foot doctor to operate on your heart. You're just not going to do that. You understand? If you do, well, we'll be looking at flowers on top. Okay, so my point is get the information from a trustable source. During the election cycle, you're going to be hearing all kinds of things that are made up. That's just a part of the process. And go to those go-to people. If you can't do the meetings yourself, you can't do the city boards yourself. Find someone who's engaged. Get both sides. Always get both sides of the story, okay, before you make your decision. And I think that'll go a long way.
Great.
I think that'll go a long way.
Okay. Tino, what did you have?
I ditto everything what Reggie was saying. Very important. And we have the early election that starts March 9th. And then we have election day, March 19th. Okay. And we need people to get out and vote. And just to let you know, we have 2 big things coming on this Saturday. The first one is with Ray Whiteley, which love him. He's doing Super Saturday, launching from Community Primitive Baptist Church, and it's for knocking on doors for candidates like myself. And then also the Democratic Party is having Delray municipal candidates phone banking. You can do it at your house if you don't want to come to the office. So sign up for that. Get out the vote. We have to turn out these numbers. If I'm going to win this election, I have to continue to knock on doors, but I need volunteers to also make phone calls and knock on doors as well. And that's how we're going to win this election.
Perfect. Well, before we move on, I'm actually going to play this video really fast. And
Hi, my name is Tennille DeCosti, and I'm running to be your next city commissioner with the City of Delray Beach Seat 1. And I stand on 3 pillars: faith, family, and public safety. I've overcome so many obstacles. My son surviving the Parkland shooting, I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I survived cancer. All these experiences have taught me life is special, and I have a duty to pay it forward and serve my community. And this is why I'm running to be your next city commissioner. We have so much to be proud of, but there is still need for some improvements. I vow to bring solutions to the most pressing issues like traffic, water quality, and ensuring everybody's voice is heard. Request your mail-in ballots. Vote early or vote on election day, but vote for Tennille DeCosti, Delray Beach Commissioner, Seat 1.
I like
I
that.
love it. I love
Thank you.
I love it. I can say, Thatcher, can I say deliberate discussions is definitely endorsing Tennille DeCosti.
Thank
I
you. We love that endorsement.
Yes, we are.
Our viewers, they loved you and what you brought to deliberate discussions last week. I mean, they're from out of state, but a lot of them, they're like, oh my God, I wish I could be there to vote for her. Oh my, can I just come down there and change my address real quick and vote? I'm like, no, you can't do that. But I mean, listen, we're voting. Patrick and I are voting from the heart. We're not in Delray anymore, but we're voting from the
We
heart.
got you, Tennille.
Tell your friends and family. You have a lot of friends and family in Delray.
That's right.
Yes, we do.
And
Yes,
most
we do.
definitely.
Yes,
I'll
we
be on
do.
the Seat 1, City Commission.
All
so
right.
Chuck, you've been pretty quiet. I want to talk to you about the Resolution 146.
Ricky, can you hear me?
Now I can, yes.
Okay. So Tennille, stay, because this is how I can get to your topic. Resolution 146. I want both of you to look at it and then go to the map, the handwritten map. All right.
Okay.
In 1935, the city of Delray, an elected body, voted to create, by law, not informally, a black settlement / area and a white settlement / area. If you look at that map, you will see that the northern boundary is Lake Island. Now, y'all from Delray, you know
Yep.
what Lake Island is. All right. The western boundary in 1935 was 3rd Avenue. All right. Northwest and southwest 3rd Avenue. And then the southern boundary was on the other side. It came down to about 10th and then eventually got to 15th that got wiped out by I-95.
Mhm.
And
So
this was handwritten.
well, they didn't have computers in 1935.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
You're right.
okay.
I
A
forgot.
little bit of time.
Before my time, Chuck.
A tad bit before both of our time fans.
Okay.
So why am I showing you this? The disparity that you see in the black neighborhood is not by accident. In fact, in 1938, there's another document, and I sent that to you. They created a black police department and a white police department. This was the law. This ain't about people being mean. This is not about people being mean-spirited. And so I'm going to go back to the 1935 law. I mean, resolution. So if you drive through what we now call the set, and that's how we got to the set, where it says Negro settlement.
I was just going to ask you about that.
That's exactly why we took it. All right. We took what they meant for harm and turned it into lemonade for us because we took our neighborhood back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But in the neighborhood that we call the set, the conditions that you see there was drawn and intentional and not by accident.
Wow.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the wealth that you see in the other neighborhoods was not by accident. And so how do they keep it that way? Because in 1968, the federal government made it illegal to have segregated neighborhoods. Well, that's because the law can only do so much, right? Particularly if you got commissioners who uphold what they inherited in this community. So what would scare them? What would scare this commission? Well, a very active neighborhood, like you see with Reggie and I doing with the work we do with the Set Neighborhood Alliance, and commissioners coming on that dais who are not going to follow the blueprint laid out in 1935. Because you can't get this much wealth or this much poverty in any one neighborhood unless there are folk on commission that not only sanction it, all right, but keep it going. And so in 2023, for the first time since Commissioner David Randolph, and he came off in 2000. So the first time in almost a quarter of a century did we bring someone in like Angela Burns, who was able to maintain and stay true to her role. Okay. Now, what would happen if you were to bring as a city commissioner onto that dais someone who understood government the way that a long-time public servant would understand government?
Wow.
Someone who had actually already been inside the trenches and then come back as a elected official. Someone who actually knows and could be a city manager someday because we have a city form of government. Now, I am not saying that that's the case. I'm saying you don't trust anyone who would put 5 elected officials who were put in law. I'm talking about codified in law. Jim Crow segregation, where they created discrimination. It wasn't that it just happened and evolved. Created discrimination and Black people as a second-class citizen. That's what that institution is. I'm not even calling the people on their races. I'm saying the institution is racist, and now we're getting dangerous.
Chuck, people need to see this. I mean,
well, they can if they go to the Set Neighborhood Alliance. We put it on our website.
Yeah,
it's been on our website for years.
Wow, I don't.
Well, you see it is different, right? When you look at it,
I'm literally now.
You won't hear, but that's why I sent it to you. I wanted y'all to see it. Okay.
Listen, to all of our viewers, if you're watching this, Chuck, they can go to the Set Neighborhood Alliance and they can
the
pull
Set Delray. Tell them what it is, because I get it all mixed up.
It's www.thesetdelray.org.
Okay. www.thesetdelray.org.
Yeah, thesetdelray.org. Yes.
And go to the section that you'll see the palm trees, and stroll down, and it'll take you right to the resolution 146.
Chuck, I just want to add a quick statement to what you're saying. When you describe that scenario about the individual background, in essence, that's really why they got rid of that independent CRA board, isn't it, Chuck?
Yes.
You can actually keep talking, Rich. I'm actually showing it on the screen as well.
That was the
section. Wait, before you go, the first paragraph, it lets you know that there were Black folk there. Now, them Black folk who were there was some bad Black folk.
I don't disagree with you.
Right? So here is how this is how this play out. I usually just gaslight and tell that half of the story, and don't tell this half of the story. So by the time they get to the this resolution, black folk have been here for a while. They came in from the Bahamas and they came in from North Carolina. And I talked to y'all about this because when y'all think about your family history, think about who came to Delray. That was the conversation we had last time.
Correct.
But before they passed this, they had been here for 40 years. Now, one of the things that group had done is they had already set up Delray. They already put it on the high ground. All right. When they got ready to pass this resolution, they knew they had to bring them black folk in there because if they didn't, they weren't going to let them take nothing from them. Trust me. Why do I know this? Because we ain't never, these ain't the smartest folk in the world who ended up drawing this map. Them black folks was pretty smart and they would buy up all the bullets.
And you know what hit me on this chart?
If Tulsa would have tried to happen here, I'm going to be quiet, Vicky, the headlines would have been a tad bit different. All right? It might have been a Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I'm telling you, it'd have been a different kind of bloody.
Viewers, y'all gotta see this. Y'all see how many pages I'm holding? Y'all gotta see this.
I mean, the extent of it, Vicky, I don't know how much time we got left. But Vicky, can you put that one back up for a minute?
The map.
Do we have time? No,
Yeah,
not the map. Not the map, the resolution.
Oh, the resolution?
The map is in the resolution.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Where the part where it was talking about the buildings, can you scroll up? I just want to read that part out loud for people to understand the extent. Okay, it says here, be it further resolved that no building or building permits shall be issued or allowed for the erection of any buildings within the area designated as the white settlement or white area, which shall be owned, used, or occupied by any member of the Negro race, nor should any building permit be issued or allowed for any building to be located within the Negro settlement or Negro area, which be occupied by a member of the white race. So these remnants, he talk about Lake Allen. Y'all know what's on Lake Allen Road that divide the north side from the houses on the other side of Lake Allen. That wall been there forever. That's the root of it. That's the root of it. So when they say you don't know history or the repeated, it's just a lot of folk, and it's not just us. It's a lot of folk walking around with no clue. He, ha, 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 I'm having a nice day. Okay, and not understanding. They don't even understand why they upset.
So,
you know what I mean? You don't even really understand why you mad, why you upset, why you feel there's no hope, why you don't want to vote. Unless you really understand that this stuff was by design, and if you're going to do something about it, it has to be strategic, it has to be by design, it has to be intentional to the same degree, and with us 100 times, 100-fold more.
Okay, before you do it, Vicky, because I want y'all to look at the other one.
Okay.
The one that was in 1938 when they created the white police district and the Negro police district, because this is when we became a sundown town. You couldn't be, by law, I ain't talking about, this was, so informal. This was the law. All right, this ain't a myth. This is and passed by a city commission. You couldn't be black in white town. That same boundaries.
So we're on section 4, 5, and 6 right now, right?
Are you looking at page 138? The other one I sent two.
Yes, correct. I'm looking at that. This is the second one that's on the screenshot.
Yeah.
All right. If you can see it, it tells you when you couldn't be in white town, and it could tell you when the white folk couldn't be in black town.
Yeah.
All right. And if you was in white town and you didn't have a badge, it's a lot of people who remember this. If you was in white town and you didn't have a badge, and if you got caught over there without the whistle, you was going to jail.
Chuck, this is something that
it gets better. And if you was white and caught over here, the black police officer, well, wasn't no black police officers then, but when they came onto the police force, they could not arrest you. They had to hold you until the white police officer came and got you. Now, that is our history.
Wow.
Okay? That's our history. Now, the fact that how did that all get taken away? Because we had, in the words of Mr. Yvonne Odoms, we are not any ordinary Negroes. Now, I'm not saying we went with that. I am telling you that is what was sitting in City Hall. That's what drove it. We fight back all the time. And where we run into a wall is in two places. People will talk about racial progress and don't understand the context of 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards under this racial progress. You see the map. You are looking at the map. Now, are you calling what you see in that map when you look at the amount of concentrated poverty on our side? I'm going to be quiet. The amount of concentrated poverty in the area known as the Negro settlement and the amount of wealth in the white settlement. Are you trying to tell me that racism in Delray ain't live and well and healthy? You don't need no data. Just get in your car, look at the map, ride around it, and it'll tell you why she fighting the fight she fighting.
Keep on fighting, please.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. And Vicky, when I was on the CRA board, I pleaded for the board to get in as a board, to get in vehicles, get on the bus, and ride around the set. And do you know they got to those Buppets on the board and say we couldn't do it because they got with the head Buppet at the time, and that great, and said, oh, we couldn't do it because we couldn't have the public on the buses with us. And that's just the dumbest shit. That was the dumbest thing that I ever heard.
You almost mad at Reggie. 9 more minutes if you would have made it.
Just like Chuck said, I want them to go see. You all
you
up
had
and make
9
a
minutes,
decision.
bro. You would have made it.
You
would
know,
have made it. You had 9 minutes. You couldn't. You just had to get it out.
I did. Okay.
So listen. So
you know, they didn't even want to go see.
No,
because
I know.
All we gotta do is look.
But listen, guys, we would love to continue this conversation again, a part 3 for this, because I mean, this is so. Chuck, you done blew my mind with this resolution. You know that, right?
Well,
I'm 56 years old. Didn't know this existed.
You think that's by accident?
And Vicky, if that exists, trust me, there's more.
What else?
Oh,
what else are we missing?
And here's what they don't know is that we know where every document is.
Okay.
Oh my God. I gotta make a trip down to Delray and definitely get this. But listen, guys, I want to definitely continue this conversation, this discussion, because this is just, like I said, it's mind-blowing. Again, that website is www.thesetdelray.org. Please go visit that site. Pull this resolution up, okay? But back to our guest tonight, okay? Candidate for seat 1 commission in Delray, Ms. Tennille DeCoste. I just have to say, with election time coming up on March 19th, I want to get everybody in Delray. I want y'all to come on this live stream, whether it be live with us or whether it be later. We're also streaming on YouTube. I need you all to promise me that you are going to grab a neighbor, a friend, an enemy. It doesn't matter. We need everybody in Delray to get out and vote, and we need them to vote for Tennille DeCoste, so we don't have to worry about resolutions like this right here. Okay, we'll have the people there fighting for us. We have Commissioner Angela Burns already in office. We're halfway there. We need to get Tennille DeCoste in office, Delray. Come on. If I was there, God knows, I would definitely be down. I'd be the first one in the polls.
Tennille, now that just hearing, Chuck speak and talking about this resolution, what do you think about that?
I think it's sad. It's so sad. And we're in 2024. It's ridiculous. Change needs to be made. And that's why I need to be in that seat.
That I totally agree.
And let me just touch briefly on your candidates who are up, the other 2 candidates. Jim Chard, he's 79 years old. Okay, I'm looking at his experience here. His statement, if elected, Chard said he would probe into the use of more technology, which he believes Delray Beach already employs well, such as through the fire department's use of drones and the city's license plate recognition technology used to identify stolen cars. Sir, that's what you're worried about, the stolen cars? What about the people that lose their houses? What about the people that want to fix up their houses? I'm sorry. No, you got to go.
He want
All
to
right.
talk about stolen cars. He need to come to Chicago and help us.
Listen, we don't need no drones. We don't need the police coming looking for us. Don't nobody steal cars in Delray no more since the Jack Law came in.
They still a here, girl. They call the Kill Boys.
Yeah, go to Chicago. He can go to Chicago with that. Help my friend Patrick out. But listen, we don't need you, Jim Shard. We don't need you on the commission. If that's all you can do for us, get us some drones and spend money on technology. Tennille DeCosta has saved Delray $1 million before. So, I mean, she knows budget. This lady has been city of Broward County. You managed over 29,000 employees in Broward. You saved Broward County millions. Am I right? Then you came here to point. Listen, I don't know if I'm right or not. I know all the money you save. If you lump it all together, it's over $1 million. But you are experienced. You come with over 20 years of experience with budget control. Yeah, you know, your other candidate, Tom Market, yeah, he was a big executive. Okay, he was the CEO. He wasn't the CFO, so I know you don't know too much about the budget. But Delray,
He's been in Delray for 2 minutes.
Places.
You say he been in Barry for 2 minutes, Reggie?
I say he's been in Delray for about 3 minutes.
You about right. From what this is what my research is telling me. But listen, we don't need all of that stuff that Jim Shard is bringing up. Let's see what Tom Marquette says. Marquette said Delray Beach is on a good path toward creating affordable housing. They're on a path to create affordable housing. They did have affordable housing before you came along, sir. I'm sorry. Bye. We don't need you. Let's see what else he said outside. But the commission has the task of doing so in a way that preserves safety and security.
Just drive around.
Morris said 5 minutes in the comments.
Listen, y'all gotta forgive me, but it's time for a change, people. I need y'all to get out and vote. Please. This election on March 19th is very, very important, very vital for Delray to survive. To survive stuff like Resolution 146.
Hey Vicky, hold on one moment. I think it's it's appropriate to play this video.
DeCosta, and I'm running to be your next city commissioner at the city of Delray Beach, seat 1. And I stand on 3 pillars: faith, family, and public safety. I've overcome so many obstacles. My son surviving the Parkland shooting. I'm a survivor of domestic violence, and I survived cancer. All these experiences have taught me life is special, and I have a duty to pay it forward and serve my community. And this is why I'm running to be your next city commissioner. We have so much to be proud of, but there is still need for some improvements. I vow to bring solutions to the most pressing issues like traffic, water quality, and ensuring everybody's voice is heard. Request your mail-in ballots. Vote early or vote on election day, but vote for Tennille DeCosta, Delray Beach Commissioner, seat 1.
Thank you.
Vicky, can I say real quick
that
the person who gave both Reggie and I this information, one was Rosetta Rowe, who set us down at her feet and taught it to us. The other one was Alfred Zach Strong, who spent over 15 years of pouring information into me, and he's going to be honored this Sunday, 4 o'clock. We're going to do the Alfred Zach Strong walk, and we got those documents too.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Tennille, what do you have to say to the viewers and the voters?
First, thank you for having me. To my residents, to my voters, vote for me, Tennille DeCosta, for seat 1. My walk of life, my faith, my passion of serving. I didn't just pop up and say I want to run for office. I've been in Delray since 2015 when I was the HR director here. And not only did I change the rules, like banning the box if somebody was arrested, I gave them that second chance. I also increased minority hiring by 46%. So I know what to look for ins and out. I'm saying I need your support. I need your vote. You need somebody with experience and passion. I'm not serving myself. I'm serving my residents.
Thank you. Thank you
so much for that, Tennille. Thank you so much for joining us again. You are more than welcome back to the Deliberate Discussions anytime. I have faith. I have confidence in you that you are going to win seat 1. Delray, We need her on. We need her in that seat 1. Tennille DeCosta. Don't forget that name. When you go to the polls, vote Tennille DeCosta.
Yes.
Thank you.
You got this, Tennille.
You got it.
I got it.
Right behind
Derek,
you.
I need a commitment from y'all. I want to see those comments. I want a commitment.
Correct. Chuck and Reggie.
All right, you got your marching orders.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Reggie. Go ahead, Reggie.
No, I say we got our marching orders. Let's get out there and vote, people.
Exactly.
We're gonna be back on next week.
Oh, y'all back next week too? Well, all right, come on.
Okay, hey, we with that.
Chuck, you got some more
Early-
for us?
Early voting starts Saturday.
Okay. Early voting starts
Right.
this Saturday, y'all. This Saturday.
March 9th, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you to all of our amazing viewers for joining Deliberate Discussions tonight. This has been an amazing part 2 to this conversation, and next week we'll have part 3. So come on back out and join us for an hour of Deliberate Discussions. Chuck is going to join us again with more history of Delray Beach. Of course, we have Delray's finest Reggie here with us as well with all his information. And Tennille, you're more than welcome to come back and join us again for part 3 of this conversation. Thank you guys for joining the show tonight.
Thank you all. Have a good night, everybody.